Hey, it's Kevin. Welcome back to the Road Warrior. Forgive any of the bumps and bruises you hear along the way. It's not spring yet here in Middle Tennessee. It's pothole season. And holy cow, this is a rough one. Speaking of rough, I always tell you, see you next week. One thing you can guarantee is the Road Warrior is going to be here. Well, that was almost not the case this week. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I could have used my spare in the can episode that says, hey, this isn't real, this is a few years old and there's something wrong, because I don't know what would have happened. Yesterday, my wife and I were out dropping her car off at the car dealership, and we're cutting across a back road to get to another side of town. Got to go run some errands. We're driving down the highway, or the two-lane highway, about 45 miles an hour, and all of a sudden a big, supersized cargo van that was over on the right-hand shoulder side decided to whip a U-turn right in front of me. Didn't see me, didn't look, and I swerved into the other oncoming lane and, holy cow, hit my brakes. He kept going, my horn was going, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I may have missed him before he came to a stop literally by half an inch, I mean, I'm not kidding. How I didn't clip him or hit him with my front end, I don't know. Then, of course, he hightailed it into the berm on the other side and peeled out of there. So I'm sure there was no insurance. He probably shouldn't have been driving that thing. And again, whipping a U-turn without looking. He was too worried about looking at the other side of traffic, not looking at what was coming his way. It was one of those situations where, my wife, you could tell she was rattled. And normally, where I've been in almost, not near death, because I don't know if it was near death, but it would have messed up the car badly. It would have tore up the front end completely, employed airbags, the whole bit. It didn't rattle me. And that was kind of strange to me. I was actually very calm. And I don't know why. It's probably the nearest miss I've ever been into. I've been in accidents before. But it was like the nearest miss I've ever had without being in an accident. And I was like, oh well, no big deal. And just went off about our way. One of those, there was no light flashing before your eyes or anything like that. But it was still rather unsettling. Of course, I was more upset by the fact with my wife's car being in the shop, and it could be there for a couple of weeks because we just got to get some stuff done on it and she's got some time. I've got the Mini Cooper sitting in the garage, but it needs some work on it. It's just stuff I've been putting off for years that I just need to get done. It's got some tire issues. I got one tire that never wants to stay fully inflated. It drives me crazy. And I just haven't had the time to deal with it or take it into the shop and get it worked on. So while I guess I could have used that car, we would have ended up getting a rental car or something. But again, if he doesn't have insurance, do I want to go against my insurance? It's going to total my car. Then I got to get a new car. And it's funny. You don't worry about what's going to happen to you. You worry about all the costs that come with it. Yeah, you don't worry about your health. You don't worry about your safety, even though you should. I'm more worried about if I got to replace my car, what am I going to buy? I don't want to go out and buy a car. I don't even want to buy a used car, a new car. I'm not in the mood. When we dropped my wife's car off the other day at the Ford dealership, they were like, hey, we got a beautiful Mustang in there. Yeah, I'm like, nope, not even interested. Because, my wife's had her Mustang now for 10, 14 years, somewhere in between, 10, 13, 14, I don't know. I know it's a 2010, so it's got to be at least 14 model years. But if we got it in 2011, I don't know. But it's like, you know what? I like not having a car payment. She's good with me. She put on 4,000 miles on her car last year. That's basically to and from work, to and from the grocery store, a couple of errands here and there, and maybe one solo trip. Yeah, so it's not like she's putting a lot of miles on it. And so is it really worth buying a new car or another car just to go through that process to have a car payment again? I know. I should be worried about, the fact that I got lucky. The will is in place. Everything's good. Nobody's bodily harm. I'm more worried about the car. Very close. Too close, in fact, for comfort. Back next week, another Road Warrior. KevinMason.us, home to all of our Road Warrior videos. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. You know where to find us. I'll be back next week. Fingers crossed. All the way people were driving yesterday, I'm still not sure. Have a good one. See you next week. Thanks.